They thought they were going to beat us. He run an absolute mockery. Did he get it down? God, I shouldn't have spoken up in the media this week. Put your foot on their throat. He's my tip for a British and Irish Lions spot this year. And the boys are giving me grief because I'm not going to be there. And then this is one of my favourite moments at Twickenham ever. DC, try. Can't stop him from there. Welcome to Rugby Reacts. I'm Danny Kerr, and this game is going to be England versus Scotland 2017. To set the scene for you, we'd won the Grand Slam last year in 2016. We were going this season for back-to-back Grand Slams. If we won this game, we'd have won the Six Nations, but we still needed to go to Ireland the week after to try and win a Grand Slam. But we knew if we won this game, we'd won the Six Nations, which is obviously amazing. And also, we were on a 17-match unbeaten record. If we won this game, makes it 18, which would equal New Zealand's Test match record of 18 on the bounce. So it was a big game, and obviously you're playing the old enemy in Scotland in your own backyard. Huge game. I'll always remember Tim Visser, a really good friend of mine for Harlequins. He talked it up quite heavily in the press that week that he was playing for Scotland. They thought they were going to beat us, and they had no fear. Let's get into the game, see how he went on. So, as I said, Scotland had been a little bit loud in the press, especially Tim Visser. Obviously, we're playing for the Calcutta Cup. Massive game at home in front of 80,000 at Twickenham. We were riding this complete wave of momentum, just believing that we were going to beat everyone that was in front of us. There was some games that we dragged out at the death, some games we'd blown teams away, but we just had that confidence in this group that we were going to win it, and yeah, we wanted to have a big start against them. And that we did. You can see here, early doors, slightly dangerous tackle there, which yellow card, probably these days the rules have changed. You might be looking at a red there for dropping someone on the head. But all week, we'd worked on a few moves, trying to manipulate their 10, 12 and 13, trying to create space for our special players. One of the most graceful, skillful, quick players I've ever played with is Jonathan Joseph in the 13 shirt. I think he's so underrated still when people think back of like greats to play for England. This guy for a couple of seasons was untouchable, up there with probably one of the best players in the world at the time. I genuinely believe that. And this day he run an absolute mockery of the Scotland defence. They couldn't touch him. We had a few plays to get him involved in the game, and early doors we used to play this play. Owen, I mean, that's not even a great setup play, but JJ was just on this form where we just wanted to get him the ball because everything he was touching was delivering, and glides through defenders here. He just takes the ball off the boys in the back line here, scores his first within 2 minutes, and you don't understand how much that then gives you a boost as a team. When you score early, the team's already confident, and then that just opens up this whole level of confidence where you want to do everything. And it took us a while. Again, we built a score a little bit, but to get our second try took us a while. But you just see here another move at the back of the line out. Youngs to Farrell. Farrell to Ford, that Farrell-Ford connection. JJ again, just literally they couldn't, for whatever reason that day, they couldn't put a hand on him. He was incredible. That Ford-Farrell connection was as good as it had ever been. Two unbelievable players, and JJ under the sticks to go 20-0 up after 28 minutes. Not a bad start. Slightly miscued throw there, I would say, but they let it play on. Fair play. And Scotland always tough. Like, you want to limit their opportunities they get near your line because they're very good and hard to stop. And yeah, they broke our line here, and Haskell and Youngsy, they get a little. Did he get it down? He did get it down. He got it down. 23-7, another line out in their half. Hartley to Laws, to Farrell, to Jonathan Joseph through the hole. Look at this. Anthony Watson on his shoulder. Comes in for a try. They were both playing together at Bath those days, that little connection, and JJ to Anthony. But again, JJ, they couldn't lay a finger on him for some reason. So at this point, I think Tim Visser's thinking, God, I shouldn't have spoken up in the media this week. But yeah, when at half-time, 30 points to 7, and we just said, I remember at half-time, Dylan was such a brilliant captain, always kept saying, when you've got a team, and Eddie would be the same, you've got a team on the back foot, like put your foot on their throat, go for them. And we said at half time, let's score another 30. Let's put as many points on these as possible, because rugby's a funny sport. Sometimes it can be really dark and really bad, but when you're on top, you've got to take advantage of the teams and put them under pressure, and that's what we do. And Jonathan Joseph sniffing a hat-trick here. Forwards doing their thing. The forwards are unbelievable that year, and JJ hits a hard line, goes under the sticks for a hat-trick. You know, made it look so easy. Brilliant from Youngsy just to get in a couple of defenders, and JJ hits a great line, and you can't stop him from there. Obviously, the last few years it hasn't been like this for English fans, so that's why we're delving back into this one, because it generally was one of my favourite games, and I was sat on the bench just itching to get on, just wanted a bit of this action, because Scotland were probably going through a bit of a tough time themselves, which we all have, and yeah, I just wanted to get on and add to the team and have some fun in a game where you've obviously won the game already. You just want to get on there and be a part of it. So obviously Scotland, whenever they're still dangerous, they get into your 22, they come away with some points. 40 points to 7 here on the 50-minute mark. Hugh Jones, a player that I got to play with a couple of years after this, unbelievable player. And he's getting better and better and better. He's my tip for a British and Irish Lions spot this year. Glorious looking fella as well. So I think I've just been brought on here, and this is a move that we had where it was meant to go Billy Vunipola breaking out to Ben Teo. We thought we could cause some problems in the seam. And at this point I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for this line, which as a 9 you shouldn't be running hard lines, but Scotland for some reason couldn't defend that day, so I was like, maybe I'll even get hold of one. No, I've got early there. I'm not even on the pitch yet. This is a breakaway drive and maul. Big Joe Launchbury. Billy scores the try. Big Joe Launchbury just doing the dirty work as he's done for so long. I think it's the next try. Right, I'm on the pitch now in the bright yellow boots, defending for our lives. Scotland got Finn Russell there pulling the strings, who was unbelievable. I think Hugh Jones goes in. Is that Hugh Jones? It is Hugh Jones. Loves scoring against England, that boy. Loves scoring against England. Knows his way to the try line. He looks young as well there, does Hugh. This is the play. 71 minutes, 47-21. I was like, right, I'm having this hard line. Short line, DC, try. Can't stop him from there. And then the boys are giving me grief because I'm not going to be there, but I just fancy getting on the end of one. So yeah, there's a few. I think Benny Teo was annoyed because it's meant to go to him, but all the other boys were laughing because I'd nicked a try. And then this is one of my favourite moments at Twickenham ever, because obviously the game's done, 54-21. We're into the red. We really wanted to score 60 points on them. We wanted to put 60. They never get a chance to put 60 points on anyone, especially not Scotland, your fiercest rivals. And we just thought, let's keep this alive. We'll try and get a try. Joe Launchbury nearly goes in the corner. Then this bit of a jinking run. Mako, unbelievable little delay. And then one of my favourite dives ever. Got to do a swan dive at Twickenham, and they showed it on the replay at the end. Hairs all over the shop. But you never really get to have those moments where no one's around you and you get to score. Faz knocks it over for 60 points. Ends up 61-21, England versus Scotland, for us to equal a record. It's a really tough one because I've been there, the other side of 60 pointers before, and it's horrible. And obviously you're really happy that you're the ones on the right side of it. You do actually feel a little bit sorry for the Scottish lads because they're a better team than that. Just one of those days where everything worked for us, nothing really worked for them. But I'll never forget one of my favourite pictures ever of all time. I was really good mates with Tim Visser, obviously Harlequin's buddies. He lived down the road in Cobham. But when he was running his mouth that week in the press, all the lads were like, "Brilliant! That's written our team talk for us." And there's a picture of me doing that big dive, and Tim Visser's face is in the background, just like this. And I tag him in it every single year that it comes up on my memories. But yeah, that was an awesome game for an English point of view. 61-21, sealed us winning the Six Nations. But as you can see, we weren't jumping for joy because we wanted to. The big thing was we wanted to be back-to-back Grand Slam champions. So we wanted to go to Ireland and win that. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, we didn't win it, which was really annoying. But we'd equalled New Zealand's Test match men's record, and we'd won the Six Nations again, which was awesome.